This is a quick video in regards of, and this is another rant, in regards of poor customer service. Now, I've noticed this in the last couple of years where customer service in general, in retail, has got a lot worse. Whether it's retail or say you're paying for a service, whether it's say like something like Sky or electrical company or internet company, where you're paying all this money for a service and then you're not being provided the service that you're kind of paying for. And then even when you complain, the people either don't care or they're just completely and just utterly sloppy. Like Monday I was in the Tottenham Hale Asda, and the staff there, just like they didn't want to sit there and be there, and they couldn't be bothered. There was a long queue there, one of the pay points kind of working. Again, they were putting out items that they don't even have, and I've complained about this several times, and they said they'll take it on board, and they keep doing it. Then there's where I complained with Sky TV, where again, poor customer service, and it's like, again, they just don't seem to care, especially when you've been with companies for more than a decade or even 20 years or 22 years with Sky. And there used to be a time when if you was with a company, loyalty actually meant something. If you were a good customer that pays your bill on time, and you don't move around, whether it's with telephone companies. And there was a time when I used to upgrade my phones, and because I stayed at the company and paid my bill on time, did certain things, you got little rewards in there, whether you got a phone cheaper or give you an extra service or an accessory. Now they just don't seem to care now. Now they just want to sit there, put up the prices and just take your money, and they don't even care about the customer anymore. And then especially with a lot of these sites now, they're using call centers in India, where I'm not trying to be offensive. Sometimes they don't understand a word of what it is that you're saying. So that's kind of difficult. Or a lot of what these sites are doing is that they're using automated services, and half the time they don't even recognize what it is that you're actually saying when the automated service is asking you what it is that you wish to do, whether it's to pay a bill or to speak to somebody, or you say yes or you say no to a particular question. None of the automated options that they give you, none of them seem to ever match what it is that you're complaining about or what the particular thing that you kind of need. And it's like there's a complete lack of being able to talk to a human being, and then that person being understanding where you're kind of coming from, as long as you're not being swearing or being abusive. And it's just, now when it comes to automated service, some things with the banking thing, I kind of prefer it, because you can just do it. When I do like pay my Barclays card, for example, I use the automated service, and you just go through with it, just do it when it works. But when it does work, it's just quick and it's easy, and you do what you have to do, and then you're done. But when you need to sit there to speak to a human being, like with Sky, where you go through options and you say something else, then it says to you, oh, you have to sit there and give your mobile phone number if you want to do the service through SMS, which is what you don't want. Then I was told, hold it, when it does it, hold the line. It kept repeating my mobile phone number. It kept repeating it for 2 or 3 minutes. The call just basically cancelled. And then when you're talking to the customer service on social media, they're absolutely useless as well. It's like they don't even care. It's like they're not understanding to where you're coming from. As for, if you treat customers good, then what a customer will tend to do is that they'll tend to stick around with the company or the service that you're with, and then they'll stay with you. But it doesn't seem to mean anything. When I've used insurance companies, when I had my first car, the first couple of years, when they used to sit there and then put it up, because I had no claims bonus and I had no accents and I never used it, and then you're willing to sit there to talk to them and go, look, I'll stay. They were willing to sit there to compromise to a decent price. But then after a couple of years, it just doesn't seem to mean anything with any of these people. And that's why I think, especially when you go into shops and you can tell, I know people going for a hard time when not being paid enough, and they're stressing out and stuff, and it's hard work, I know it, but it doesn't mean that you sit there and you take that in a customer. And when you have some of these staff members that have this look in the face where they just can't be asked, don't be able, the customers like me sit there and see it, and then you're not going to want to sit there and shop at that particular store anymore when they're kind of when they're behaving like that. So for me, it's kind of, it's very kind of off-putting when you're seeing these people with this kind of attitude. And I think since COVID, this is just completely sped up in where you see it in people's faces where they're just, I made a video about selfish people, And as before, you know, I just don't understand with services that you're paying for, you use, whether it's retail or companies, why customer services are just got so bad. And to me, as a customer, it's kind of very off-putting when you're seeing people or companies, whether or not it's an online company or you're ringing in or you're in retail, where they can't even be bothered to do their job, which I know, again, is hard. So yeah, that's my kind of rant as to, you know, poor customer service. As I said, if you sit there and you treat your customers well, like I've had it with Amazon, where I had a joypad break. They told me to order the new one, and then they gave me a refund on the other one, and told me to keep the other one, which I managed to fix. I've had you see my 2 Blu-ray videos where one was the first one was a Panasonic one that broke, and I had it for over a year, and then Amazon took it. Obviously they did mess around with some stuff they did, but eventually they did give me back the money for it, even though it was over the guarantee. And I used that to buy the new Blu-ray player, which was the LG one. And then I've had it also with Sony, where I bought years ago when I bought a PSP and the screen cracked, and then they actually sent a delivery driver to pick up the old PSP, which obviously I paid for, and then they gave me the new one right then and there. Don't know if Sony still have that in their policy if it comes to their consoles, but that's good customer care, because when a customer treats you right, sorry, when a service or company treats you right, then you're more likely to stay with them or use that company. But when they don't, you're not kind of going to bother to use that particular company and whatnot. But as I said, I don't know overall what the hell's completely going on with poor customer service in the UK. It's probably like this across the world, but yeah, that's my little rant over about poor customer service.